Hello, my name is Jaden,
I'm not Reeves.
And I'm Kanye Mosley.
and we are doing our project on 3 topics we learned this year in American military. And our first topic will be George McClane.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with George McClane. George McClane, he was known for being a major general in the Civil War. He created his own army, which is something that, that's really hard to do. And he made it from scratch. And it takes a great set of skills, and you gotta have the mindset to do that. And I feel like he had all of that, which made the Potomac Army. It was okay. It wasn't the best, but there was always room for improvement. After that, he retired, got into politics, which is something that me personally, I want to do. If I retire, I'm not doing nothing. I'm chilling. I'm sitting at home. But he wanted to do politics, so he did it. He ran for president. I'm pretty sure he didn't get it though, because we don't hear about him anymore. And that's all I have on George McClane. So we're gonna pass it to my nice friend Matthew Rios.
So about George McClane, he won against the Confederate Army. I'm surprised he's actually won against Confederate Army against the Battle of the Phillip. And at Virginia, he actually earned himself a nickname called the Young Napoleon. So that's all my information, and I'm passing it on to Jay.
Wait a second. So I have to ask you a question about it. So how did he get that nickname?
I don't know how he got that information about the nickname of the Young Napoleon. I'm guessing because he's a Napoleon and he was young.
Okay.
Because he did lead his own army exactly. He was a general chief. So I think that's the only information. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think he got that
I
nickname.
kind of halfway agree with that, though, because, he did lose a lot trying to back out the battles. A lot of the battles that he lost or didn't get into because he was scared of the other side, even though they had less troops than him, and he was backed up. So I don't fully agree with that nickname they gave him, but it wasn't a bad one because he did, like y'all said, lead a whole army on himself.
Yeah.
Did all those good other things, but
I just feel like there's more to the nickname than what you're saying. I feel like it's a lot more that we don't know. Cause that couldn't be the only reason they call him the Young Napoleon.
yeah,
Well,
probably had to do a lot more than that.
Well, here's the thing. He actually had two nicknames. The Young Napoleon was one of them.
Okay.
And the next one is a weird nickname that I don't even know if he got. His other nickname was called Little Mac.
Little Mac.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I have no idea, but in the research that I did, he had two nicknames, the Young Napoleon and Little Mac. I don't know how he got Little Mac as his nickname. I'm guessing because he had less army than the Confederate Army.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I mean that would make sense. Cause it would make sense because the Potomac wasn't a big army, and if you look at how it's spelled, he got it's Potomac. So Lil Mac would.
Yeah, that would go with a little army. So
Yeah. That's a. I like that nickname. I can go with that.
Yeah.
yeah, better than Young Napoleon being called by someone else.
Yeah, but we're gonna see what Jaden has to say about this.
Honestly, I heard a lot of things about him as well. During the Civil War, like I said, he retreated from a lot of battles, even though he had backup from Abraham Lincoln, and Abraham Lincoln never liked that much. So that's why he probably got his position moved as General Chief, and he had to start his own army, because all these times he retreated or didn't want to fight him at all. It was this one battle that he lost, even though he had the advantage in numbers, because the Confederate Army had set up this thing with their troops, making it seem they had more, when they didn't at all. But George was just too scared to go push it. He didn't even know. So basically, they had time to get reinforcements to come to actually match his numbers. And by that time that happened, George had to run away and go retreat. So that's another reason why I don't really agree with the name Young Napoleon, because he had the numbers, but he was too scared to actually do something with the numbers he had and the backup from Abraham. So,
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't deserve that nickname. Like, you had the advantage, but you're not smart enough to push it. Or it's not even the fact that you're not smart enough. You're scary. You shouldn't have that nickname.
You're supposed to be a great general, and you're scared of him.
Well, understand this though. He was young exactly. That's one of the reasons why he got Young Napoleon, and that's why he got the nickname for a reason. But hear me out though.
Napoleon was great though.
Right, but he had less experience
Okay.
in the war exactly. That's why he was afraid, because he had the advantage. Like he said, but he had less experience on how to take that advantage. So
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
thing.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
I said during this time, unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure at this time he was very experienced. At this time, at least, because Abraham was surrounded by a lot of old people that didn't want to fight. So, unless I'm wrong and you're right, I believe he was experienced at this time because I don't believe that he would have just ran away or was being leader of an army if he wasn't experienced enough to fight or know what's going on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because what would be the point of leading or making an whole army if you can't control it? Like,
Yeah, like if you don't have enough experience to do that. So
like,
at the time that you're talking about, I believe he did have the experience. I just believe he wasn't ready for that fight or he was just scared of the fight.
and even if you see, the thing with me, if you create a whole army, you have to have experience. Like, there's no way you don't have experience. So I feel like that part might have been false. I feel like that part might, at least at the time, because I feel like he's somebody with great experience. Because like I said, you made a whole army, you created a whole army by yourself, which takes a lot. So I just feel like he had to be experienced with something like that.
And a little bit years before this, we had the Mexican-American War, which will lead us to our next person, Robert E. Lee. Pause right here.